What's up, Hotties? It's your girl, Hallie Gilmore. Grab your shoes, connect your headphones, let's go for a walk. It's time for a Hot Girl Talk. Dance party! Hotties, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Hot Girl Talks. I am so excited to be here today with you guys. I know it's been a while since I've been in the studio, but we are back. And you know, every time I get in the studio, we cook up something tasty, okay? And today I have a beautiful, amazing, stunning, gorgeous, badass bitch in the room, okay? Ashley Snell, thank you so much for coming on Hot Girl Talks podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm very excited, okay? I'm a little nervous, so bear with me here, okay? But today's just going to be fun. I'm just going to ask questions and really get to know your journey, your story, and the woman that you are. Okay. So we'll just get right into it. Ashley, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and yeah.
Okay, I feel like my story is quite simple. I grew up in a small beach town, Ventura, California, near Santa Barbara. I grew up being raised by my mother, and I have a bunch of half-siblings and one adopted sister. Let's see, I started working in the movie industry when I was 18.
Nice.
And doing a lot of behind the scenes. And at the same time, I opened my first business, which was like a hookah lounge in my beach town.
Love.
When I was like 20. And then from there, just the entrepreneur in me just kind of like took off. And then, let's see, once I met Tony, we moved to Orlando, but we were like all over because of all the teams that he played for. So it really wasn't until we settled in Orlando that I focused on like setting up brick-and-mortar businesses again.
Love.
But yeah, it's been a journey. I feel like I've lived so many different lifetimes, from being 20 till now 36. It's, you know, especially following Tony around city to city for all the different teams. That was a life in itself. Now being a mom and having the businesses, having the kids, that's a whole nother life. So, you know, the journey is ever changing. But I love that like, I don't know what is coming next. And I love that aspect of my life.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you've had a beautiful journey and so many layers to yourself, and you're still discovering new parts of you. And
every day. Yeah,
I love that. You're so inspiring. And backstory for the Hotties that don't know, Ashley Snell, was on Basketball Wives of Orlando, and that's kind of how we met, except I was modeling for her clothing brand, Ashley Snell Collection, back in, I think it was 2023. No, two. It was two. It was definitely two.
One or two, so yeah.
Yeah, it was back in 2022. Time flies because what the heck. And that was a lot of fun. Her store was in Winter Park, but you just moved to Nashville, right?
Yes, so we're still doing pop-ups around Florida. Okay. But our base is now in Nashville.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Nashville's a good time.
Nashville is like one of my favorite places.
You're like, put me in some cowgirl boots, cowgirl hat,
yes,
and let's
go.
Yeehaw. No, Nashville's so much fun. Okay, so Tony Snell played for the NBA. He's played for the Chicago Bulls, Milwaukee Bucks, go Wisconsin, Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, Portland Trailblazers, and the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Awesome. And he's still in his basketball journey.
Yeah, he's still looking to play overseas. I think
Awesome.
That's like his journey. I think he's also picking up chess, like competitive chess. So
that sounds kind of hard.
Yeah, listen, he has the mind for it. I'm just, you know,
along for the ride.
But yeah, so that's kind of what he's focused on now.
Cool. And you guys have two kids.
Yes, Kenzo and Carter.
Love those names.
Thank
I think
you.
we talked about this at one point. I know I'm going to name my son Carter one day.
With a K or a C?
With a C.
Okay, mine's
with a K. That's cool. Carter with a K.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about them and just the foundation that you guys have started and autism awareness and all of that?
Yeah. So, you know, I always wanted to be a mom. That was a huge part of, an important part of what I wanted for my life. And so when I met Tony, you know, we decided that we we're going to make sure no matter what that like we stay a strong family unit and put our kids first. And so I'm so happy that that decision was made ahead of learning about an autism diagnosis, because when Carter, our eldest, who is about to be 5, was 18 months, he was diagnosed with autism. And I didn't know what autism was. I didn't know where to start. I felt like my world crumbled around me, because it's like, here's this diagnosis. I'm hearing nothing but negative things from healthcare providers, from others. And so it's like the fact that we had made that commitment to putting our kids first, it was like, okay, we can get through anything.
Yeah.
And then he got his diagnosis right after Carter, Tony, that he was also on the autism spectrum.
That's right.
And so when that happened, it was just kind of like, okay, so this is a big deal, and it's bigger than us, because you have a platform. You're in a position where you can inspire Black and brown boys, especially in an environment where there isn't a lot of support for neurodivergency. And so at that point, we decided to create the Tony Snell Foundation and go down a path of learning everything we can, because as we're telling the world, we're still learning, and we still don't know what's left from right, like,
yeah,
and how to navigate it. And so that kind of became the passion, at least for me, is instead of fearing it, instead of allowing the negativity to take over, it was like, how do I take everything I'm learning and help prevent other moms from feeling how I felt, or at least not feel alone in their journey.
Yeah.
And how with Tony, who does not like public speaking, he does not like people to know about his life. He's very quiet and private.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I push him in a way that doesn't push him too hard, but to help others, and where he can help inspire people on a level I can't. I can help moms, but he can help individuals that actually are diagnosed with autism and help them feel less alone in their journey.
Yeah.
And so we've been in this now for 3 years, and so we really understand more of the neurodivergent world, how to navigate it, how to help people. And so that's really our primary focus with the Tony Snell Foundation. But as far as being a mom, you know, what I learned because our youngest son was also diagnosed with autism, and they're very different. Both of them have nonverbal. We're on a level of being nonverbal, but speech has brought them to being verbal. They just have a lot of speech delays. But what it's taught me, if you go back from day one, ground zero till now, they have so much to teach me. And there's no book. Like, you know, you can go to the store and get these baby books. Those don't apply to kids on the spectrum. That does not apply to neurodivergent children. And so we've had to make our own rule book and our own handbook of like, okay, these are these milestones. This is our new normal. And it's just been beautiful to watch how intelligent they are, how expressive they are, and how much love they have to give. And I think, I can't speak on kids that aren't neurodivergent, but for having neurodivergent children, the amount that they love and they just want to love. And I don't know if that's from me pouring into them, Tony pouring into them, but I wouldn't have it any other way, you know.
That's beautiful. It's so empowering, because I feel like it's common, but until you know someone with kids that have autism, or you know someone in your family, you don't know until you know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't know what you don't know. And it's just a learning experience, I'm sure, as parents, but like, this is their life, and they are the most beautiful people in your world, and you want to give them the most beautiful world ever, you know? So I just think that it's really amazing that you guys are on this journey with your family, and you're just educating and inspiring people and sharing your story, because I feel like that is how we all connect, and that's how we help people. So I'm proud of you, and I think you're doing amazing. You're an amazing mother. You're inspiring me just sitting here, and like, they're still so little. And I know my older sister teaches special education, third graders who are all on the spectrum, and my niece is nonverbal.
Okay.
She's 5, and my sister Casey tells me like some of her third graders were nonverbal until they were like 6 or 7, and now they're like they won't shut up.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's so different, and
Yeah.
you just can't, you just never know what God has in store.
Yeah, and I think that kind of is the biggest thing because for both of my kids, I still don't know like where the developmental needs and like where they're going to be by like age 7 and 8. I think, they're both so different.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it taught me just so much about understanding how to raise two completely different humans, which I think anyone that has kids, all their kids are going to be so different.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the word normal, but trying to maintain, I'm just going to have to use it, a normal household where it's like this diagnosis does not define you. There are going to be rules. There is going to be discipline. Where I'm not, it's not a crutch. Your diagnosis is not a crutch, and it does not give you an out for behaviors. It does not give you an out for, not having to have structure and all of those things. And I think that's a big thing when I talk to parents is they get the diagnosis and then they coddle the child, and it's almost like they feel bad for the child, and that's not what a child needs.
Mm-hmm.
That's just them. They are who they are. You don't need to feel bad for them. You
Yeah.
don't need to treat them any different because of a diagnosis. This is who they are. And I think that's the biggest thing that I try to help parents that are new to it to understand is like, you do not treat your child any different. There may be a way that you have to deal with them, especially like if they're nonverbal or they're, super OCD or have a lot of behavioral issues, but you don't like coddle them or allow those behaviors to continue just because it's like, oh, well, they're autistic.
Yeah.
Like, no, because the world is not going to be kind.
Yeah. So true.
That's like the biggest thing for me that I've learned with them.
Yeah. How do you said like you want to inspire mothers. How do you reach out to them? Is that part of the foundation, or is that kind of just like on your own social media platform? Is there a way for mothers who are also parents of children with autism? Like, how do you connect with them?
Usually DMs, and I'll check my messages like once a month probably, and then like I'll respond. But also we do outreach in Orlando, and so moms that come to those events, or parents, moms and dads.
Yeah.
But usually through like DMs, or it'll be like I'll be out somewhere and someone that I know will be like, hey, I have a friend whose child was just diagnosed. I'm like, give him my number.
Yeah.
Give him my number, because like if I can help even one parent, like for me it's a success story.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest thing is when we got, and I tell this in every story, but when we got the diagnosis for Carter, it was like, if he's 18 months, if you don't get him into speech therapy, ABA therapy, there's one other therapy. If you don't do those now, you're doing him a disservice, and he won't be where he needs to be. So you start calling these places, and they're like, okay, the wait list is a year. And when you're a parent, all you want to do is save your child. All you want to do is what's best for them, and then you're told like, okay, so I have to like sit this year out. And so what I've learned along my journey, and I always tell parents this, is immediately if someone is telling you these things, go to your primary doctor and ask for a script for speech and ABA therapy. They can recommend it, and then you can at least start the services or go online and like look at things on YouTube, figure out ways to like kind of skirt around until you get the official diagnosis, so that like you're not playing the waiting game when your child needs the help.
Yeah, because a year is a long time to tell someone, oh, well, wait a year.
Yeah, and it's over inundated. I guess if that's the word, like the autism diagnoses are off the chain right now, and so there's not enough care providers for every child. So it's really sad and really scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's sad.
Yeah,
I feel bad, but I think the movement that you're doing and just helping inspire people is gonna touch the people that needs to be touched by it. So
thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I want to talk about Ashley Snell Collection, and you said that you've been a previous business owner before Ashley Snell Collection. So can you tell the Hotties, like, what's your biggest tip for an aspiring business owner? Like, what would you say to someone who wants to start a business but is a little hesitant because they fear it might not work out or something?
Well, I will say that fear is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have fear, like when you believe in something and you believe in yourself, fear is normal. And it's like working through that and overcoming that makes you stronger. I think in this day and age, there's so many different ways to be an independent entrepreneur, to own businesses, but it's finding your niche. It's doing your market research, and it's making sure that, like, if it's something where you need it to financially succeed, you're putting it in a place where that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I had my store in a lot of different locations, and it's crazy because it might have been 2 blocks away from another store, but this one store is doing $45,000 a month, and the store 2 blocks away is doing like $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
They're that close to each other, but just like the foot traffic and all of that. So trying to navigate those hurdles and hiccups before you like go full blown. That's one thing that I learned.
I love that. That's helpful.
You know, especially because being in certain areas, like realtors, people will tell you, oh, this is great. No, go sit there, you know, map it out, make sure, like sit and watch the foot traffic. Or if, you know, if you're doing a podcast, things like that, figure out, research all the other podcasts and where your niche could be, what's passionate for you, but like what's part of your passion that maybe other people aren't hitting on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting a new business, and I'm working with a local celebrity makeup artist, Dorka Jones.
Love.
And we've been working on this for so long. So when I'm ready to announce it, I will definitely tell you.
Yes, that's so exciting.
But we're opening our first location, God willing, in Nashville. And so in doing that, though, it's like I've been there so many times to just sit and watch the neighborhood, to learn about Nashville, learn about the market, because we could have picked anywhere in the U.S. to open.
Mm-hmm.
But Nashville just feels like the right place. So I think to answer your question, long story short, with being an entrepreneur, it's really research, passion, commitment, and not being afraid of failure. Like, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
I have failed so many times in so many things. I fail all the time, but it's just a matter of not letting that, you know, hold you back.
Overtake. Yeah.
Yeah. And understanding that, like, in business, failure doesn't have to be the definition that we look at failure. Mm-hmm. Failure is like a stepping stone, a lesson.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how can I fix this for next time?
Yeah. I love that. Thank you.
Of course.
One of my goals is to become a business owner, and whether that be open up my own modeling agency or talent agency, that's kind of what I'm like wanting to do. And I'm working towards that goal. And I think this podcast is a good platform for me to learn things from successful business owners and women entrepreneurs, boss bitches, as I like to say. So I'm excited about the future when it comes to that. So
I love that for you. That is like a genius way to take everything you've learned from the industry and then help other women.
Exactly.
I love that. And men. You know?
Yes, women and men, but women empowerment.
Yes.
Boys, y'all can sit this one out. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone's welcome here. Okay. What's the best piece of advice you would give? I guess we kind of just talked about this, but I'm just going to read it anyways. What's the best piece of advice for women in their mid to late 20s?
Let the pressures of marriage or kids
okay, that's
get in
so
the
good.
way. But
ladies,
it depends,
listen.
because if you want to be a mom, if that's like, you know, being a full-time mom, being a stay-at-home mom is a job. It is a full-time job. It is a thankless job. And while beautiful, it is probably one of the hardest jobs on the planet, right? So if that's what you want to do, more power to you, and you probably should start earlier. But if you're goal-driven in a business sense and you have to be at work, you have to show up for these things, stop letting society and the pressures go freeze your eggs. Freeze your eggs at by 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
But by 30, freeze your eggs and focus on your career. Like, having kids, that if you want to be a good mother, you have to invest so much of your mental time. Like, yes, physical time, but mental, because your brain is just like constantly having to navigate like what they need, being worried for them, thinking everything in the world is going to kill them, especially when they're little, you know?
Yeah.
And that's hard to navigate, also running a career and trying to be in a man's world. And so I think that the best thing I could say is exercise, don't worry about a man, and don't worry about having kids. And if you are worried about having kids, make sure that this guy is someone you really want to deal with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think I have friends that feel the pressure of wanting to get married and have kids. They feel like they're behind. And I'm like, babe, no. Like, you are on your own journey. Just because the girl sitting next to you is married and has kids doesn't mean that you need to be in her shoes. You don't want to be in her shoes.
And it's our time as women now. Like, it is our time. Like, 40 is not what it used to be. Like, I'm sorry, but focus on you, because once you have those kids, it is not about you anymore. You could still have, like, I've been really good to carve out a part of my life that is me. I still am me, and I still have time for me, and I make time for me.
It's important.
But it's not all about me anymore. And so that's for any woman once you have kids, you know? Sure. What is the thing? Like, let people be who they're going to be, especially because you brought up friends. And we didn't really touch on that. And it's like,
we can
cut those people off. if it's not serving you, cut those people off.
Oh my gosh,
especially when you're in that prime of your late 20s, early 30s, cut those people off.
Yeah.
Like,
I have recently had to do that. And I'm very open-hearted. I used to let everyone, like, in. I didn't have, like, a shield up because I thought everyone was, like, as genuine as I was, because I'd never really been burned by a friend until last year, and then I had to cut those bitches off real quick.
Yeah.
And they're probably listening to this.
Let them.
Let them.
But no, I think
it's a weird lesson. It's a big lesson to learn, but until you go through it, you don't really understand it, you know? But once you understand it, just cut them off. Like, your life will be better without them.
Yeah.
I feel like your life is a lot easier when you know that.
For sure. And it's important to have, like, empathy and forgiveness.
For sure.
But I, too many times in my life, have just, like, taken people back, and then they burn you again. And then it's like, you know, I grew up in church heavily, and so it's just embedded in me, that level of, like, forgiveness.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's like, no, you can forgive them from a distance.
Yeah.
Like, I've forgiven you, but you're not in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Boundaries.
Yeah.
We're kind of just answering all the questions I had. My next question was, what type of people do you surround yourself with now? And what's one of the most important qualities you look for in a friendship? We kind of just talked about it.
I would say in new friendships, I only really make friends now with people I'm working with, or in the sense of, like, let's take Dorka, for example. She was my makeup artist. Well, she is my makeup artist, but now we're business partners.
Shout out Dorka. Your makeup always looks fire.
Yes, she's so good. Unreal. But it's like new relationships that I find in my late 30s, I guess. I guess I'm still mid 30s. Let's hold that. But it's usually with people that I'm doing business partnerships or like-mindedness. Even if we're not necessarily business partners, we're both in business in our own way. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now on my journey, in connecting with other women. So I think if that answers your question, that's kind of what I look for, is like people that are driven, goal-oriented, driven, and
passionate,
have their own things going for them, and people that, like, love to travel, because I need a girls trip all the time.
Can I come on the next girls trip?
Please come.
Can I?
Yes, come.
I'm coming. I love friendships mean I pour so much into my friendships. So, like, the older I get, it's more so for me quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like an obvious statement, but not really, because I would much rather have, like, fewer friends, but what the most quality friendships ever, than having a whole room full of people that are, like, would talk behind my back if I, like, walked out of the room, you know? So, but I also love that, because you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to be surrounded by like-minded baddies who are working on themselves, building an empire for themselves, but also for their future family, for their future kids. And, like, if you get left behind, you get left behind, you know?
Yep, I agree.
So, they say it gets lonely at the top, does it?
At times.
True. No, but you have to learn to also love your, like, alone time, you know?
I love my alone time.
Me too.
I really love
it. I don't prefer it, but, like, some days I prefer it. Like,
some days you just need it.
Yeah.
You actually need to just, like, decompress. Like, sometimes I'll just get into bed at, like, 7 o'clock and I'm not going to sleep till like 11. But
Yeah.
I just
Same.
need to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just to breathe.
I don't know if you like struggle or deal with this, but I oftentimes it's hard for my brain to like turn off.
Yeah.
How do you have like a way, like a meditation, a therapy, something that helps you turn your brain off at
Edibles.
night? Edibles?
But I haven't had them in a while, so I haven't had that good brain turn off in
Okay.
a long time.
But the edibles do it for you?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Like, I went to Amsterdam a couple years ago, and after that, I had never really done edibles, and I was just like, oh, this is what good sleep is like. Okay.
True.
But over the last like couple years, I need to go get some.
Yeah.
But so lately, I've just been so worn out that I can fall asleep.
Yeah.
But I find that if I'm on my phone, that's my brain is like still going. So
you gotta turn the phone off.
yeah, it's more so I have a million tasks and a million things I need to do. My problem now is I fall asleep and I fall deep into sleep, and then I'm woken up by my stress level of my tasks. And then I'm like, okay, you can't fix anything right now. Like, go back to sleep.
Is that rain?
That is rain. That is like a flood.
What the heck? Anyways.
We're sleeping here tonight.
Bring on the tequila.
Right?
Okay. Or the edibles.
Yes. Either or. Or both.
Or both. Bringing this back, and this is now just me yapping a little bit off track, but I have been kind of struggling with focusing on one task at a time recently, and I don't know if it's because I'm in this new career where I'm like looking at numbers all day and I'm just like, what's going on in my brain? After I clock out of work, it's so hard for me to like tap into this podcast and like focus on Hallie.
Yeah.
And so I went to see a psychiatrist, and I've never seen one before, but I thought I probably need a little help, so let's just do it. And I'm proud of myself for booking the appointment and just checking in on myself, because it's important to do that, because sometimes we forget to put ourselves first. But anyways, the psychiatrist told me that I have like inattentive ADHD, and I was like, that makes so much sense. Because my brain is always like bing, bing, and I'm like, I'm 27 years old and I just figured this out just now. So as adults, like, our brains are just so magnificent. This is just a lesson for my hot girls listening to, like, I know we're our biggest critics, but like, I don't want to be the first one to judge myself just based off of like, okay, so I can't focus on one thing at a time. But like, now that I'm more aware of it, and now I can like take the necessary things I need to do to like help my ADHD, get on medication, whatever it may be. Also, like, seasonal depression and anxiety is like kind of a thing for me too right now. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about it
for like everyone.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Life is just hard.
Life is hard in this world. These times we're in are just it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Shoot. Speaking of ADHD, I just had something, and then.
But I will tell you, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a kid.
Okay.
And what I've learned, because I take medication sometimes I haven't in years, and I'm gonna start again because I have way too much going on, and my brain just needs to focus on like 6 things a day instead of 55 things a day.
Yeah.
And so what I will say though is it is a superpower if you know how to hone in on.
Okay.
If you understand that you can do so many multiple things, like I can get so much accomplished. I'm unstoppable. I can literally run so many different businesses, so many different things at once.
Yeah.
But it's understanding like, okay, where can I allocate these tasks to someone else? Or where do I need to cut this out if I don't have someone I can allocate it to? Figuring out a balance and like having really good time management, which I struggle with the time management part.
Same.
But figuring that out, you have to, in my opinion, channel your diagnosis to your superpower, because not everyone can do that. And it is an amazing thing if you can, as an entrepreneur, multitask and handle all of those things where it's like your computer is always running, but you're still getting stuff done.
I love that. I'm taking it in, because I do feel like it is like a superpower. Like, my brain is always thinking about different ways to do things and like what I have to do next, but I haven't figured out how to like navigate it as an adult, as an entrepreneur, that kind of thing. So thanks for the advice.
Yeah, it's true in my opinion.
Not to get too deep, but
we can get deep.
Okay.
Let's get deep.
Well, we remember when we got Italian food after the Winter Park Fashion Show. We got espresso martinis, and we were just chatting it up. my hot girl community knows that I've endured a lot of grief in my life. I've lost my sister 2 years ago, my two brothers, and my dad. And it's just a lot, you know?
Heavy.
It's
Yeah.
definitely heavy, but we carry it well. Crown never falls. Thank you. No, it does sometimes. We let it slip, but
Yeah.
prop it back
That's
up.
hard.
It's a lot sometimes. So, and I know that you've also deal and have dealt with grief in your life.
Yeah.
Your
I
parents.
lost my dad, then the next year my mom, and then a couple months later, 5-month pregnancy. So yeah, it was. I feel you. I feel for you.
Yeah, same.
It was devastating, and it's not something for me. You know, my mom was my compass. My mom was my soulmate, like my honest soulmate, and where she started and stopped and I started and stopped was there was no way to tell the difference in a lot of aspects. And so I think it's something I struggle with weekly. I wouldn't say daily so much anymore. Sometimes maybe it only comes like every month, but when I first lost her, it was a couple days after the year anniversary of losing my dad. And I wasn't as close to my dad, but my mom, I was very close to him. And I think that him dying, I'm not going to say she gave up, but from heartbreak, it was just a ticking time bomb, and the cancer just took over her.
Oh my gosh.
It's not that she stopped fighting, but I think the heartbreak, is a real medical thing. And so when I did lose her, it's like I had to make it like a business almost, where I was like, okay, you wake up in the morning, our show was Friends. So when she was going through chemo, we binge watch Friends, and so I would watch an episode of Friends every morning, cry. I was also pregnant still right when she died, so I didn't want to transfer my trauma into the baby. I just was trying to be so cautious of that. So I was trying to be more like business minded, like separate the emotion and like this is what you do.
Yeah.
But by doing that, it actually helped, because I was like, okay, I get to grieve. I have something that reminds me of her. I'm keeping her with me. But then I have this baby that I need to live for and that I need to like be positive for. And so when we lost the baby, it was very traumatic. And yeah, it was just like, wow, what? Okay, this didn't break me, but like I can't take much more.
Yeah.
And so
it could have broken you, but you didn't let it.
Yeah. But I also, Tony was a really strong support in that. I think it breaks a lot of people up going through all that, and he was separating from his family at the same time in his own way, and so we both had like a lot of loss that we were separately going through, but then foundationally, like, okay, like we have such a strong friendship in that aspect. But I feel like when you meet other people that have gone through it, then there's a level of like, you get it.
Yeah.
Because it is an emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
The permanence of loss is something that is truly unfathomable when you sit and actually think, I'm never going to see this person again. Mm-hmm. Or things happen in life where you can't tell that person. I called my mom the other day, and I was like, so there's something happened and I needed to call her. And it was just like and she's been gone for 5 years. Yeah. So it's like, it lives with you. And the pain, it's immeasurable. Like, it literally is.
Literally.
It's the worst thing.
It is.
So.
But you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it is. And I think when you said, like, you kind of had to turn it into, like, a business mindset, like, kind of same. Like, I had to create this podcast. Like, I had to step into this new version of Hallie, but, like, this hardworking version of myself. Always been hardworking, but, like, now I'm, like, stepping it up. Because, one, I'm doing it for them. Specifically my, like, siblings that can't, like, that lost their lives such a young age. But I just feel like in my heart, it's just imaginable. It's hard to deal with, honestly. And like I'm at a loss for words, because it's like until you've experienced it, it's really hard to explain it.
There's no way to explain.
There's no way to explain it. And I'm sorry for your losses, and it's a part of our journey.
Yeah.
It's a part of our story. It makes us stronger.
Yeah.
It makes us more real. and it makes us appreciate the little things in life like tenfold, you
Yeah,
know?
I've developed like a real fear of loss, because it's like tomorrow's not promised, and I truly
Exactly.
understand that now. And so it's like the people that I do love, I treasure them so deeply, and I have like such a fear of losing them. And so I don't take the people that I love for granted. And I don't take my time on this earth for granted
Yeah.
anymore, because it's, again, tomorrow isn't promised. And I think that's what I've learned from going through what I've gone through. And I just tell people, like, appreciate your parents, appreciate the time, appreciate your family. Like, you know, not everyone gets to have a good relationship with their family.
It's
And,
true.
you know, but if you do, if you can,
Like, cherish it.
cherish it.
Because it's not, well, nothing truly lasts forever. Like,
No.
and it's people that haven't grieved have a hard time understanding what, like, if I say, like, well, we're all going to die someday, but, like, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and sometimes I laugh through the pain, but it's just like it's a way to cope, like
Yeah.
because it's just so crazy that they're not here with us anymore that it's just like, well,
Yeah. It's like, what is this life?
what is
Like,
this
how
life?
how did this happen?
But now, like, how do I make this life the most beautiful life
Yeah.
ever? You know? So,
Yeah, you let it drive you
Yeah.
instead of cripple you and take you down.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and our angels are always watching us and protecting us and guiding us
I agree.
and
Yeah,
living
you're so
in
strong.
us.
You're
Thank
so
you.
strong. That's
So
a
are
lot.
you.
That's a lot.
Yes. And I like I could sit here and be like, well, why me? And it's like sometimes I do feel like, well, why did I have to go through this many, like, my siblings should still be here and my dad too, but it's like they lived so in their own lane authentically, like they've always been free spirits. So I just know that they're just doing that still, you
Yeah.
know? And that's why I just encourage everyone to live not every day like it's their last, but just like book the trip.
Yeah.
Cut the friends off that make you feel like shit. Like, you know, do things that make you happy because tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the world could blow up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's on its way.
but you're such a beautiful soul, and I can see that even just from knowing you. And I know we haven't had like a whole lot of time to spend together outside of like shoots and stuff and like
Yeah.
fun entrepreneur bad bitch stuff, but like you've always just exuded such like maturity and like grace, and you know, being in like the and like basketball wives scene, like I'm sure there's like a misconception of like
The lifestyle and how people behave.
exactly
There really is. 'Cause
Yeah.
all the basketball wives that I know, I'm not speaking on the show, but like the actual basketball wives that
Yeah.
I know, like they're all just normal, down to earth. I mean,
Yeah.
they keep their circle tight because people want to take from them
you
and
have
use
to
them. And,
yeah
but everybody's just like down to earth.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's
Living
just
their lives.
the lifestyle is different. And with that, you really have to keep your circle tight, so you can't be as free to like, other than what you see on social media,
yeah
to just like live your life. But I think there is a misconception because of the finer things and
Yeah.
the Instagram posts. But if you were to meet like 95% of them, it's just
they're like normal baddies just living their best lives.
yeah, exactly.
And I love it, and I thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having
and for
me.
being here, and I'm glad that our paths have crossed,
Yeah.
and I hope to visit you in Nashville on the
Yes,
next
please
girls
come.
trip.
Please, yes. Have you done a girls trip in Nashville?
I have. But I
Okay.
need a redo.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
It was probably, I think it was like 3 years ago.
Oh no, it's time for a new
And
one.
it was with the girls that I cut off. Like,
Okay, well we're gonna redo
so
it.
have to redo.
Yeah.
Please, I need a redemption round.
Yeah, Nashville, like I've gotten the city down now, so I can show you a really good time.
Slay.
Yeah.
And the new Ashley Snell Collection is in Nashville.
And then my new business.
And then your new business is
will
in
be in
Nashville.
Nashville,
So we're going to Nashville.
Yes, Nashville.
Okay.
And we'll have a lot of tequila shots.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Me and tequila go together real bad.
Same.
Okay. Well, Hotties, everyone tell Ashley how much you love her on the gram and all the things. Reach out to her, shop her collection, and stay tuned for all that she has in store. Ashley, thank you again. Huge thank you for coming on the show and being here. I love you too. All right, Hotties, HG out.